Crypto Benta for you.
This is Crypto Benta, this is Crypto Benta, this is Crypto Benta. Crypto Benta for you, this is Crypto Benta, this is Crypto Benta, this is Crypto Benta. Crypto Benta for you. Smash that like.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Crypto Banter. I'm Sheldon the Sniper. Firstly, what I'd like to do, guys, is welcome all the new people. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to our loyal community. Welcome to the most loyal community in the world. Welcome to the most truthful community in the world. And welcome to the best crypto community, crypto YouTube channel out there, guys. Welcome. Before I do get going, guys, what is the main thing that we are starting off today is this a V-shaped recovery from Bitcoin? We got a reaction in the market down at the $28,800 level. We got a strong bounce. Is this the bounce? Is it time to be getting ready to sell for possible lower lows? Or could that be the bottom that takes us now to start gradually making our way back in the market and start recovering from this downward side? So we got a very important show coming up with Bitcoin, a full market update, as well as our sniper wisdoms today. We will be going through our long-term portfolio today. And going through all the key rules, all the key structures, all of that. But before I get into that, guys, welcome. Let's get this off over here. There we go. First thing I need you guys to all do is to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's get the tile going. There we go. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. What does that do, guys? It gives you the notifications every day when we are going live. It gives you the understanding that when times get tough, when times get good, we are always there, we are always live, and this helps you to never be alone through these times. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're learning from this market is sometimes it's tough. And it sucks that sometimes we've got to bleed together, sometimes we've got to win together. But the main thing about the whole reason why we do this whole channel and why we bring this whole community is that you're not alone through all this process. You don't have to make these decisions alone. We got a whole bunch of us that get through this together, that strive together and push each other through all of that. What do we got to do, guys? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Follow myself on Twitter, Sheldon_Sniper. Follow Ran on Twitter, CryptoManRan. The descriptions are below in the video. Also follow us on Instagram. All the descriptions, guys. There are a lot of scammers out there making fake accounts of us, asking you guys for money, asking you for DMs. That is not us, guys. So please make sure all the valid information is in the description below. Secondly, why must you like and subscribe, guys? We have the Sniper School. The biggest and best school in the world, not just a crypto school, a full school, guys, where we are going to teach you everything. It's going to take time for us to all learn these skills, but remember, it takes us a normal 3 years, 5 years to study a degree. We're going to be able to do this in 3 months, 6 months, and get everyone to understand that there is a whole world in the crypto space, not just chart trading. There's fundamentals, there's yield farming, there's so many different aspects where you're going to find your strength in the markets. And that's the whole goal of the Sniper School, is to bring that all to you guys for free, for absolutely free to you guys every day, because we love what we do. And all that I want to do is I've managed to make this a full success. I've managed to live off of crypto. And now all I want to do is share the knowledge on how I did it and what I learned. And what I love about this and the whole part of Crypto Banter is we bring you guys different perspectives of different people. And all the whole goal of that, guys, is for you to take the good from everyone and take the bad from everyone and build your own model of what you actually want to be. So it's about bringing a whole different perspective, a whole different view of all of our learnings on how we've done it, how we've managed to survive. How have we survived many times in the past? Let's get my charts up here. These huge dumps in the market and these big pullbacks. How have we survived? How have we mentally stayed strong to keep going and to still come every day and say we love crypto and we're still bullish on crypto? It's because we've been through this before. It's not a normal thing in the market. It's not an unnormal thing in the market when we have these big pullbacks, to understand that the market has grown by hundreds of thousands of percent and we've had a 50-60% drop in the market. To understand that this is scary. A lot of people got in at the wrong times, but the main goal is you're starting to learn that this is part of the cycle. This is part of the journey. It's a part of the learning platform, the learning side of what it actually takes to be in this market. Because why? Because for the first time, we have no boss. We have no one telling us what to do. Yes, we got help and we got people helping us on what's happening in the market, but I'm not pushing that button for you. I'm not putting that stop loss for you. I'm telling you these zones, but are you doing it? And this is where the hardest part comes to crypto, is understand that the responsibility is fully on yourself. For the first time, you are in control of everything, of keeping your ship afloat. But you also have the chance to choose your potential and what you actually want to become. If people think that 3 months to 6 months of learning and battling, because every trader loses in the beginning, every person loses money in the beginning. You need to understand that because it's brand new. You don't know what the hell we're doing. In something that's brand new, you're not even educated yet fully, and you're getting into this whole new thing. And this is where the education is so powerful, and learning this and taking off of other people's experiences and how we look in the market. So I'm very excited to be doing this every day and very excited to bringing this to you guys and sharing these zones. And we'll see. Times will be wrong, times will be right. But you will see as we progress. And I want you to come back and see me in 3 months' time, and see in 6 months' time, and see in 1 year's time. And look what we create. Look what we build in this world. We don't give up. We never give up. Times are always. How many of you cannot say that these charts that we see on a daily basis is not our actual life stories? How many times does something go wrong in your life? Our lives are actually a damn chart. I went through this. This big drop that we have over here was my life 6 months ago. It was the biggest drop in my life. Not talking about charts. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about life in general. It happens. And it's all about the strength of getting through all of this. So guys, let's get all into it. I've spoken about the school, spoken about obviously the banter bags, guys. These will get flowing big. When we get to 500,000 subscribers, we will be giving out bags to the public with education to help you guys. We want success. All that we want out of this is success stories and to know that we've made some sort of difference. And we just want to share our knowledge and our love every single day. So what is the big story, guys? Was that the bounce? Yesterday, the big scenario we were talking about was the triple bottom. We had these 3 levels. We were holding that level, holding that level. We broke that level. When we broke that level, what happened? Acceleration to the downward side. Now, remember what we said yesterday was if we do break that level, we're looking at going $28,000 to $29,000 region and then a bounce. Okay. Now, with that bounce, we said it can get up to 34, 35 in that sort of zone. And in one day, you can see it's literally done that. We dropped all the way down there and now we've made our way back up. Now, we know we got a lot of entries up that are a little bit higher in the market. But do you see the power of understanding that you cannot be selling in the impulse waves? You have to be, if you are selling out of the market, it needs to be confirmed sales, meaning that the market does bounce at points, guys. Now, if you got stuck yesterday and you started selling down to the bottom, guys, big guys are buying from you at that point. And that's why we need to get out of the habits of selling the fear. We need to be selling the green. Now, let me show you this. This is what the market is looking like today. Now, is this the better time that if we are confirming that we're going down to lower levels, is this the better time to be starting to sell off? Of course it is. Not the times where everything is absolutely going down, 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 down. Everything's just dropping, dropping. Someone is buying in that stage when you buy. So the main understanding is that we got some higher entries in last week. But you see how we're not now we drop those levels and we're continuing down. I'm not jumping in now to sell because that buy wasn't right. I want to see the retest of when we break that support, we come back up to that zone. And if we don't get where we need to get, guess what? We are going to be selling exactly where we bought in the market. Knowing that it's a confirmation level that we can now catch Bitcoin at a much lower point. This isn't a point. I'm trying to reduce gambling. By gambling is not knowing, just buying a coin at any point. If I am buying, there's always a second opportunity that if it goes wrong, this is where I exit. And the whole part of the whole strategy is if I get it wrong, I want to sell where I got in. Minimal risk. Knowing now that it is the time to be selling out and then to be using that. If I am ever selling out the market, I need to have a plan on where I'm buying back. If I don't buy back in 2 months' time, the price is way above where I got out and I never got back in. And I've really lost in the market. So there always needs to be a game plan on what's happening. So let's jump into Bitcoin. Let's see where we are sitting now. Let's jump to the 1 hour. Let's go into Bitcoin and let's see. So the first big thing that I do want to do, let's get back, is remember, the understanding of candles, guys, and how important candles are. Okay, now what is very good about yesterday that we pushed in that zone? Could this be the bottom? There's a possibility that it could be the bottom. Could it not? We're still 60% in favor that wasn't the bottom. Okay, but what is the scenario? Why would that be the bottom at any point? We know now for the last few days, we could see the shorts, not the shorts, the longs have been increasing and increasing and increasing in the market. Guys are buying into the market right now. We can see how the longs are literally, if I jump to the 1 week here, and I'll show you guys where we're looking at, we've literally just broken all-time high, meaning that the longs have never been this high in the position that we are sitting in right now. So people are betting on this going up. Now, why yesterday? This has been going up for the last few days since we've been trailing down to the early $30,000 regions. Now, why all of a sudden would this now be making its way up? And knowing that the price has been dropping, and why would the price yesterday, why would we now get this strong bounce in the zone? It's very simple, guys. Is we know that these big zones that we've had, these big wicks and these big things, we've come here now. This was the 4th time we have come to this zone. Okay. Now, why would they send this price just a little bit lower than that previous wick where we hit the $30,000? When was it? A month ago that we hit that zone. Well, why would they now send that down? Because if everyone is betting for the market to go low, to go long, if you're a guy now that wants to go long, and we know the normal, simple understanding of a trader, that if they're buying long, where would they put their stop loss? It will be under these previous lows, right? Because we know that if the price comes there, at any point we can join. But where would your stop loss be? It would be under. So the fact that it went through yesterday and we hit those zones, everyone's stop losses. There were so many liquidations again yesterday on longs. It was crazy to see how much liquidations there were out there. And that sort of makes understanding that's why we didn't hold that 31 and why they sent that quick wick down that took a few hours in those zones and then sent the price straight back up, a very strong reaction, because now they've liquidated those longs. Now, is that stopping the longs? The guys are getting back in. They are still long in the market because now they're annoyed. It dropped down, liquidated me or stopped me out. Now I'm getting back in and it's moving. Now, is this a bull trap? Is this where they're going to trap you now that now everyone's thinking that was the bounce? Now we're making our way to the upside. What do? Everyone goes long. They send the price straight back down. So we have 2 scenarios that can play out on Bitcoin now. That is a big reason on why that could have been the bottom, was to liquidate, was to catch all those shorts and catch all the zones. Because if you are buying, you would be buying between 30 and 31,000. Where would your stop loss be? 29,000. That's what it'd be as a trader. And look how they send it, literally 28,800. That's where it hits a stop loss. That's what it takes. And then we go straight back up. Now getting the people to FOMO in 10%, 20% higher than where we were yesterday. So it makes sense that we did get that bounce in that zone. Now Bitcoin's got a job. Now we're looking at a V-shaped recovery. Okay, let's make this a bit bigger. Let me mark that in again for everyone. There we go. There's the left side. This is what now we need from Bitcoin to pull through today. And it looks like we're very strong on our way to do that because the 8-hour is making its way up. The RSIs were bottomed out really at the bottom, and now we're making our zones. Now, we got in 36, 38. Some got in lower in those sort of zones now in the last week, okay? And this is why the whole reason was don't panic out. There's going to be an exit sign. Remember, we've been buying for the bigger term, the longer term view. Weekly, it still look like amazing buys anywhere between the $30,000 to the $40,000 region for 1 year holds, for really big, higher time frame holds. That was good strategized points. Now we dropped certain levels. Now, why do we say those zones? Because now we can see how Bitcoin, from that strong bounce, we got the higher high on the hour. Now we're making our way up. Now we need Bitcoin now today, and this is where I see Bitcoin going for between today and tomorrow. We'll see as we progress. I think today will happen. Either through tonight, but in the next 24 hours, we'll see Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs to now make its way to that $36,000 mark. It needs to make it to the $36,000 to $37,000 mark. We need to now confirm this little higher point. And what we're going to do is we've been saying, and even since I said yesterday that I'm going to be getting out, the fact that we made that lower low, I'm going to be getting out a portion of this. Now, what I'm actually doing here is I'm going to be getting out 50% again, okay, of my Bitcoin into that for the next little farming opportunity, and to make sure, because what has happened the last 2 weeks is they keep sending these strong impulse waves showing that we're breaking trend, and then all of a sudden we get the retracement, and then it just never damn stops retracing. Retrace. So it just keeps making its way down. And I don't want to fall for that again, which means I am going to be taking money and freeing up some cash and catching it now on the next confirmation buy as we progress, because we know that nothing just goes in a straight line. So lower time frame now, Bitcoin's bouncing. It's progressing very strong. But when we get to these levels now to the top, let's just get that away there. Anywhere between $36,000 to $37,000 region, I'm freeing up 50% of my cash in the zone. Because what is this looking like, and what is this tending? Remember, yes, the market has been a little bit abnormal, and it hasn't been right. I wouldn't say right, but it hasn't been showing perfect sort of TA signs at times. We get breakouts, and it's not this what. But we've had maybe 2-3 of them in the last week that really been tough. But remember the one that you catch, guys. And this is why we can't fall back and feel sorry for ourselves. We need to remove the exact emotion. Today's another day, and we're going to get this damn entry. We're going to get this damn entry. And if it's either now or it's going to be at lower targets, we're going to get that entry where we can hold for 6 months. This is the whole fight that we are doing for this whole month. It's for that damn entry that we don't have to touch. So it's a lot of hard work, it may seem now, but you're not going to work for the next 6 months once you got this entry. And that's the power of why we remove emotion and we use what we do. So what I'm seeing here is a full inverse head and shoulders to play out. Okay? Because it took a lot to bring that price back down. The bulls are going to attempt. Now, the big sign of yesterday, which was really good, was we had on the daily, for the first time, we have formed a pin drop candle. Now, you can see when we get these pin drop candles that even at this zone, it wasn't a full one, but that was a term of a pin drop. It's usually a reversal candle. Now, if you can catch a daily pin drop, these are usually your best candles to get in. Now, if I do get that candle, what do I need with it to back it to say that this is a bullish momentum? This is where we can have a reversal, and the bulls are now going to attempt to go capture those previous highs, is we need volume. And we've been speaking about no volume for a while. And what happened yesterday? We get a pin drop candle in that zone, and boom, for the first time, we have volume. Now, volume is starting to come in. Now, that's a really good sign when we have, especially when the market is exaggerating very quickly downwards. Now, we get a bounce. We need to always make sure whenever we have bounces in the market that we have volume backing it. And we could see that there was a lot of volume that came through at that point. And now we are getting higher volume than what we've had for a while, especially for the last month. And it's a reversal candle. So that's showing us that the bulls are attempting now. The bulls are going to attempt to recover now. And this could be the low. I'm not saying it's not. But what we need now, by us getting to the strategy of knowing that we are not trading either scenario until there's clear signs. We are literally trading it as it works. Now, what I mean by that is I am taking profits. I am getting 50% out of the market, even to 60% when we get to the $36,000 to the $37,000 region for the scenario of Bitcoin making a lower low again and actually going down to the 25K, 24K. We've made the lower low, guys. So the possibility of another lower low, if we don't get the higher high, is very, very possible, which means I need to prepare for both. Now, if I can get 60% out in this market, in this zone that we are in over here, and we make our way down, and from this, what are we going to do? We're going to, from that zone, make our way down. We are going to track that momentum. This will be happening by tomorrow or so. I will be here. We'll be looking at, and the breakout of that, cool. I will then be able to know that from selling that zone, I found myself another 10% Bitcoin, averaging my cost down, and now we can make our way and go attempt the next higher highs, which are sitting at the $40,000, $42,000 region. Okay. But now, if we now continue to just trail down in the market, where we are now, let's just get rid of that. There we go. Where we just move down, I'm already 60% out. At any little pullbacks, I can get my other 30-40% out, and we can trail this as we progress down to the lower targets, because there's still the possibility of Bitcoin $20,000 to $25,000 region. Of course there is. We are just starting to get some early signs that the bullish momentum is fighting back. So the whole moral of what I'm saying now today, guys, and is Bitcoin to make its way up now to $36,000, $37,000 between today and tomorrow. Okay. At any point, there can be a small little pullback. We haven't tested the support yet, where Bitcoin now in the next hour or two can come down to 32, 33 again, and then continue its way up to those sort of levels. A lot of the higher time frame RSIs, and let me show you here on the daily. Let's get back to this bottom chart here and show you guys on the daily that, do you see where the stochastic RSI is sitting now at the bottom over there? So we got a reversal candle, we got volume, and the stochastic RSI has hit the bottom to make its way to the upward side now. So now that's a very key indication. But now the goal is to farm, to get a little bit more Bitcoin in that stage, and to make sure that we are working with both scenarios. So by going 50-50 is a brilliant decision, because we can buy back another 10% more Bitcoin, which will be 5% of the total, on a confirmation buy to go up. Or if we keep continuing down, we can just ladder out the rest of our cash as we progress, but at least we got a good section out. And that's very close to where we're entering in the market. Now, that's the power of the strategy. Everyone was panicking yesterday that everything was just exaggerating. A day later, the price is nearly back where it was. Guys, yesterday, for the last 2 days, we were hovering between $31,000 and $32,000. Everyone was nervy because we were getting in at the higher points. 2 to 3 days later, we're back at 34. Do you see how you need to control your fear? Do you see how you have to control your emotion? It's going to create emotion that you never even knew existed, and you need to learn how to control that as we progress. So that's the game plan for Bitcoin and where we're sitting, and it's up to that zone, a pullback to get it back. Remember, the left shoulder, the right shoulder will usually always come back down to the left shoulder, which means that's a great 10, 15% farming opportunity for that zone, and at least then we are buying back, moving our entries back lower. But if we continue to the downward side, we're sitting with a good amount of cash to be catching the bottom sides. Now we know where that Bitcoin is. We know everyone's going long. We understand why the price went just below those previous wicks, hit stop losses, and we can see the shorts are completely down, all the way back down. So no one's shorting the market right now. No one is shorting. The bulls are currently in play now. They are trying, you can see here, the shorts are not going up. The shorts are going down, which means they're allowing the longs now. They're allowing the bulls to attempt to get where it needs to get. Now, looking at dominance, guys, we are still, so the first thing that's very exciting is we are getting to our zone for the turnover that the alts now can start having a little bit of run and start catching up on the big losses, because the alts were bleeding, guys. They were taking a big knock in the market. And this is clearly because of this uptrend of the dominance has been trailing up now for the last 2-3 weeks, last month or so, that's been trailing up. But now we're at that very crucial trend line. Now, if that was the bottom for Bitcoin, the only time that I see this reversing and now making its way down and the alts really jumping is when the bottom is, when the medium-term bottom is in for Bitcoin, is when we're going to have the reversal in the dominance and the alts are really going to start pushing again. And that's where we can see we are getting to that crucial stage right now, where we are getting to our zone now, where we can expect now, we went all the way to 48, and we were saying between the 48 and the 50 is where we see it's starting to, and we can already see that that was a very strong 8-hour reversal candle. It's called a bearish engulfing candle, guys. When we have a red candle that's bigger than the green candle that was previous, that's usually also a reversal sign. So we may hover in this zone now until Bitcoin gets to that 30, call it that $36,000 level. Then a small pullback, we'll hover in the zone. Then it goes down to 33. Then all of a sudden it starts to break its way up, 36, 38. And when we get that, we're going to have the drop in the dominance. And from that, we're going to have the alts completely start to explode and start to make and that's when the alts will then start pushing and start making their way to the upward side. So everything is still working good. The reversal and the pullback from the dominance would come when the bottom is in, when the temporary bottom is in. That's when the alts and the money, because why? Everyone is very nervous right now. So right now, everyone thinks Bitcoin is the safest asset. Okay. As soon as there's settlements in the market, they're going to start diversifying back into the altcoins. And that's where we can see very clearly over here. Looking at the total, and we can see how the total to dominance is starting to play out very, very nicely to what was said yesterday. We had a strong week down, but that's looking good. So the alts are now starting to push stronger. We can see very clearly at this over here how the alts are starting to move back. So for now, we are still trading, because this dominance is still moving in the same way. We're still trading all of our alts to what Bitcoin is doing. We don't even have to look at the alts. We don't have to look at these zones. We know that the dominance is still running flat. So it means the alts are running very similar. Some of them are outperforming Bitcoin a little bit today, but it's not tremendous to what we usually see. We know when that dominance has turned completely, Bitcoin is going 10% and the alts are going 30% for the day. That's when we know the alts have really turned. And right now they're pushing strong, but it just shows you how we are at that very crucial level now, where if we can settle with Bitcoin and get the nerves back down, the alts are then going to start breaking their way up. So if we have a look at, like, let's say our Ethereum and where we're sitting with Ethereum, let's just get, where we're looking at Ethereum, guys, there's only, I see there's 10,000 people that are watching. There's only 3,700 likes. It's a big problem, guys. I actually want to play a video for you guys. It's so important, guys. Share the love. We need to get the love out. Here's the video.
Stop it. Stop whining. Bunch of banter babies. Smash the like button. Do it. Do it now.
Brilliant, guys. Hit the like, show the love. We do this every day. And what do I have next? That's coming up very shortly. The wisdoms are coming shortly. I got some more teachings for you guys. This is when I want to teach you, when the markets are being terrible. Because when it's trading time, guys, we're not going to have much teaching time. It's all going to be about trading, making money. Remember, we study 6 months, we make money for 3 months. We study 6 months, we make money for 3 months. That's how it works. There's going to be a time when there's no time for education anymore. And that's where it comes down to you now, because you're not educated now. We're in a bull run again. You have to be educated in this sideways market, downwards market, so that when the bull market comes, you are set and you know what to do. That's the whole purpose of being dedicated every day and showing the love every day and being here. So same with Ethereum, guys. Ethereum literally came down and just hit these previous lows that we had in those zones. Ethereum topped to the bottom, 1,680 in those zones. Now, the same thing over here. That's a very strong candle, and we are getting good volume in there. And we know that the dominance is looking to drop at any point. So Ethereum is at a really, really good point for stocking up. And we've been saying anywhere between $2,400 to $2,000 region is a good zone. Because even though it dropped another 10, 20% more, do you remember what the purpose is of why we're buying in the zone? Because the upside outweighs by far the downward side of where we've been laddering in the markets. So looking at your links at all of these ones we've been getting in, guys, look how the markets react. This is why it's so important for us to be getting at these zones. So the alts are looking on fire and they're looking to make their way strong. Same thing. If Bitcoin makes its way to 33, means the alts are going to rally today. But when it gets to that 36, when it gets to that 36, it's going to be another pullback from the alts. And then the same thing. So all the coins are showing us the same patterns. So it doesn't matter. Just make sure that your portfolio is obviously structured in the right way. And looking at the Ethereum dominance, that's been trailing, but we have a nice higher low in the Ethereum dominance. It's showing me Ethereum's going to have a strong push. Ethereum is going to bounce strongly. If that was the bottom and now we start to have the reversal in the dominance, Ethereum's going to have a really strong push to the upward side. So that is a very key one to know, that a good portion must be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then obviously the rest will be with really good fundamental coins. So having a look at all, and they all took a knock, but look how strongly they all start bouncing back in the market. It's just Bitcoin needs to do what it needs to do. We need it to get to 36, pull back to 33, and then continue to the upward side. And then we're going to have an absolute killer from the alts. And all the little losses we made, the thing, we can have a month of losses and you'll make it all back in 1-2 weeks. We've seen it, guys. How many times have we seen it in those markets? They are flushing you out. They are flushing the retail guys out. So there's not much to go more onto the alts and all on where we've been sitting with all the alts. I think we're going to jump into the wisdoms for today and get into the little bit of knowledge today and what we're looking at. And we know that we've been talking about, why is that not coming up? Let's see. There we go. We've been talking about our wallets, guys, our spot wallets. This is where the actual confusion has come in for the last 3 days, is people have been panicking out, knowing that we've been buying long-term holds, 6 months to 1 year holds, okay? But everyone's been panicking out of the market, or everyone's been panicking about their thing. You should only have been panicking for your spot wallet. Why? Because that's the only one you should be trading right now, right? You should actually only be, what we've been looking for is investment entries, ones we can hold for the next 6 months. Now, if Bitcoin goes to $150,000, does it matter if you bought it at 33 or 36? Yes, it's a little difference, but it's 10%, guys. So you're either going to make 400% or you're going to make 410%. Do you understand the difference? We've been getting 70% of our money into good assets at really good discounts so that we don't have to trade and touch. The only time we should ever be getting nervous was when our spot wallets, our 20% of our money should be the only one that we should have been nervous for the last few days. But for higher time frames, we shouldn't. We should be making sure we bought the right coins and the right zone. So we've gone through these wallets. We know the power of what the spot wallet actually is. This is on my Twitter, guys. So please go have a look. Here's all your rules for your spot wallets. They all 3. You only have 3 wallets as a trader. There they are over there. There's your rules. And there's the system that we know we need to use. So we've spoken about the spot wallet is a generating money wallet. With your profits, we know how to diversify it into the different categories. Now, the difference is we have 3 different wallets, and each wallet comes with different rules. Now, the next rule that we're looking at is our long-term wallet, guys. We've spoken and I've given you guys the spot wallet. Now it's time now for the long-term wallet. And this is what I want to show you guys today. What is the purpose of the damn long-term wallet? It's for you to buy good investments and not touch it, not have to trade it, not have to stress for it, not have to worry about it. That's the whole point of it. Trading is stressful, guys. Who cannot look at me now, straight here now, and tell me, let's get rid of my chart, that trading is not stressful? It's stressful because you put all your money on the line every day. But if you put 70% of your money into long-term assets and you only worry about your 30% every day, that's what you're going to use to make money. That's the only thing you should be worrying about. That's where it reduces emotion. Remember, this game is here to destroy your emotions so that you can make silly mistakes. That's the whole purpose of why this market's been designed this way. So with the long-term wallet now, is to hold and build the coins you want for long term. 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, these sort of holds is to get in the right way. That's your purpose, is to get rid of 70% of your worries. Get rid of it. Put them in long-term holds, good assets. This is why Rand is a killer at what he does, because he does a lot of research on fundamentals, guys. And fundamentals are the only thing that's going to get you through a bear market. If you have a good fundamental coin, it will survive a bear market because it's needed for the crypto space. So that's where his power comes in, and where the later show comes in big power. He gets you those coins, and you should be buying them, removing them from your stress, and only worrying about your little 30%, which is this wallet over here. Your spot and your cash wallet is all that you should be worrying about as a trader, and not your whole damn portfolio. So that's the first thing you need to learn as a trader. Get a good amount of your money into stress-free zone. That's the whole purpose, and that's where your long-term is very powerful. This, guys, is your true wealth. I've always said it. Your long-term wallet is your true wealth. Not your spot wallet, not your cash wallet. Why? Because you put those on the risk every single day. Your long-term is your great investment. So what's the goals, guys? To build wealth for your retirement, buy a house, kids, your kids' future, etc. All of these things are the big thing. And Rudo actually sent me a message here with a really key one. You don't sell your retirement fund before you retire. Guys, that's huge. That makes sense. These are long-term. This is for your true long-term wealth and where we're getting in. So every time you add your dollar cost average in the coin, which means that you don't, the whole purpose of a spot wallet is to generate more money without you putting more money in the market. So when you make those money, what do? I flush it into my long-term. So you are just filling that long-term throughout the year without having to buy more or put more money out of your pocket. That's the whole goal of it. Now, the difference is when you do make the money out of that spot wallets and out of these things, you don't care what price you're buying that coin for. I've made my extra $100 today. My rule is to take that $100 and go buy long-term holds. So you don't care if Bitcoin's $30,000, if it's $20,000, if it's $15,000, you go buy Bitcoin. And you'll see during the year, you'll buy it at 20,000, you'll buy it at 60,000, you'll buy it at 30,000, you'll buy it at 40, and that's where your averaging cost comes down with any of the coins that you're getting in. So it becomes a non-care zone on where you're buying. The main thing is you've gotten it for free. You've generated, and now you're buying it at those zones. This, ideally, when you know you're becoming a successful trader, is when you have enough money to trade every day to make the money that you need, and you have a system running, but 70 to 80% of your money is all in your long term. You're not even worried about it. This is where Rand is brilliant. Rand trades a little bit there and there, and he's getting into that, but he puts money in and he never touches it again. And that's why he's got entries on Ethereum that are sitting beyond what you even think. He's got entries of coins you wouldn't even, that's where the power of this comes in, and understanding why you're actually doing it. So that's when you know when you have 70 to 80% of your money in your long term, and the remaining in your spot is enough to generate what you need. That's when you know you're becoming a successful and a good trader, is when you don't have access to that. Now, in those coins, guys, a powerful strategy, and you need to do research on it. You know what I don't understand, guys, is everyone wants to be taught, right? Do you know how much free information is out there? So if you want to learn, a powerful thing to a long-term strategy is to learn to stake these coins. Now, let me tell you why. Because you know this game, this emotion game that we played, you know, if you just in your Binance accounts, you make another sub wallet or something, do you know how tempted you're going to be so many times to sell your coins from emotion? You need to get those long-term coins out of your sight. You need to literally move them completely away from your trading portfolio, because the temptation is going to make you sell those coins. You should never be selling your long terms. You should be getting good entries, good holds, and buying them at all different entries, but you should never be selling them. And this is where the power of staking them is, because now you've put them in to stake. And you know what's powerful with that? Guys, with staking, you put your long terms to staking, right? You generate coins. They pay you interest in coins, not interest on your money or your dollar value, in coins. Now, what you don't understand is in a bear market or in a bear cycle that we are now, if you are generating these coins of Ethereum at $2,000, and you're making these little bit of Ethereums every day just by staking Ethereum, by the time Ethereum's $20,000, all those little Ethereums that you were building up and all the little portions you're building up, what does that actually bring? It means you are double compounding. It means you are building your coin values, and the coins are growing value-wise. So you're getting more coins and they're growing value-wise. Guys, it's double growth, which means that if you doubled your portfolio by the end of the year value-wise, but staking-wise, you did the same. Guys, there's staking platforms that give you 100% a year. There's ones that give you 50. There's one that get 200. No, you stake on Binance. It's very, very simple. Use the very safer security play. Like Binance is a brilliant way to be staking. Exodus, you can stake. So the whole purpose of this is to pull yourself away from the temptation to touch those coins. Let those coins grow. It's going to bring you tremendous amounts of money by not touching those coins and allowing them to do what it needs to do in the market cycle. So staking is a huge, huge, huge win with using for your long-term portfolio, because you are generating wealth. Doesn't matter if the values are going down, you're still making coins every day, guys. And that's where the power is, because when the market does turn bullish, with those little coins that you make, and then all of a sudden the dollar value picks up, that's where you see real growth, and you'll be blown away in a year's time what you've actually turned that into. Now, behind this now, so we got the goals, we got the purpose, we have the rules. The rules are very simple. We have the shopping list, the fundamental coin. Decide on the coins you want to hold long term. Will they survive a bear market? Do they bring difference? This is where you got to study a little bit. Guys, it is out there. We need to stop waiting for people to make these decisions for us. Go study. Go learn about these coins. Go make it simple. I always believe common sense. If it makes sense and it can change something, it can work. And that's the whole simplicity. Go do your research and research on these coins that everyone talks about and what Rand puts in his list. Go do it yourself. Bitcoin to Ethereum should at least be 60% of that, guys. It can be 50 in the zones, but it needs to at least be 60%, because those are the big daddies. Those are the ones that we know that the world are big behind. So that should be a big portion of that. And stake your damn Ethereum. You know what I mean? Stake your damn coins that we can. You're lower risk, but stake them so that you are growing. This wallet is rarely traded, if ever. The only time that this is ever traded, guys, is when you've made 500% on it. When you have grown your long-term account 10x, 20x, then you can look and say, sure, this market has literally given me 2,000% in the last year. At some point, there's going to be a big sort of retracement down. And that's when you jump to your daily or your weekly charts. And this is where we're going to start separating in our thing, to start going through the longer terms once a week or twice a week. We don't have to go through it every day. What I'm going to go through every day is your spot wallet. How do we make money on a daily basis or on every? That's where the power of that is. But once a week or so, we're going to go through the longer term holds. Guys, on the weekly, zoom out. This is good. You know what I mean? We should be holding at any point. That's the only time you should be never really trading. That's just using the higher time frames. If you decide to trade, it's on a higher daily, weekly candles. These are your marriage coins, your love coins. Everyone, as much as we can sit and say, don't get emotionally attached, everyone will get emotionally attached to a coin. If it is, it must be your long-term coins. It can't be your short-term. If you have a love affair with your short-term coins, it's going to hurt you and it's going to emotionally hurt you. And profit from your spot wallet is moved here. That simple little system. Simple system. There we go, in play over there. And try to have this in a separate account. Very, very important, guys. People are asking me, how do I separate these wallets? Let me make this simple for you. Okay, so your long-term should be a wallet. It should be a nano ledger. It should be Exodus wallet. It should be a cold storage wallet, not in your exchange, not accessible for you to trade. It should be away from you. That's where your long-term goes. Your spot wallet is your normal trading account on your Kucoin or your BINANCE. That's where your spot wallets funds need to be sitting. And your cash wallet can also be sitting in there, but it can be sitting in USDC or a different one, because if we're trading with USDT every day, you're going to end up using that money. You don't want to use it. That's money for expenses, for opportunities, for all these zones. Put it in USDC. So this is how you separate your three wallets. That your long-term is not in your Exodus. It's not in your Binance. It's not in any of these. It's in a cold storage wallet that's away from you. Your spot wallet is your exchange wallet. And your cash wallet is your USDC, or it's another account that you send all your another exchange or another thing where you send your cash to. Separate them. Get them away from each other. Because the temptation, because I don't care what anyone, for me as an investor, I was very happy buying anywhere in this range for a long-term investment. Anywhere in this range, because we are zoomed in all the time and we see these candles, but this is the fact that I'm buying these at such a big special, you know, in a year's time or this chart does something like this. Doesn't matter if I bought 36, 34, that's my investment, guys. 400% or 410%, does it really matter? The main thing, I was buying it on weekly and daily charts. My weekly RSI is telling me we bottomed out. If we show over here, what is my weekly? My weekly is so low at the bottom. Let me share here. There's my weekly. It's so low at the damn bottom. Look at my bullish divergence. Guys, let me show you this quickly. This is where the power is. If 70% of your money is traded like this, you've removed the emotion. You've removed that from yourself, which will make trading a hell of a lot easier for you. The problem is everyone's making this way too damn stressful. Guys, look at, let's bring that back. There we go. Look at, let's get rid of this. There we go. Here's our weekly. There's the low over there. Okay. There's where we are right now. Look at this. Look at that bullish divergence on the weekly, guys. On the high time frame. Look at that bullish. Guys, for investors and for big guys, I don't even understand why we're scared to buying these dips for 1 year, 2 year holds. I really, really don't. There's so much bullishness for the long time frame. And that's why I do this, guys. Get 70% out into that zone and only worry about your damn 30%. So when we are sitting every day and we are going through this, it's 30% that we're back on there. There we go. The rest are all sitting, staking. You're earning coins, guys. And you know what will make you feel better every day, even if the value has dropped a bit. But tomorrow you go up, oh, I've gotten another little bit more Ethereum. Oh, I've gotten a little bit more of these. Oh, okay. The staking is powerful, guys. You will learn that you're still making money and you're generating it. And the thing is, you're not putting the risk on the line every single day. So I will be putting this on the Twitter, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. We are going to be going through the cash section. We're going through a full trading portfolio one for the week, a full rule system as a full-term trader. Remember, guys, these are all segments that I'm doing little bit by little bit. We are bringing the sniper school to you now, which means every day we're going to be little portions. But in a 2-week time, you're going to have the full portfolio structure. This is what you print. This is what you put on your wall. This is what you put. This is what makes you a successful trader, and understanding the goals of what all of these little slides are actually bringing through. So this is sniper wisdom, guys. This is us bringing this every single day. So I hope you have enjoyed it. Have a good day today. Main thing is, guys, Bitcoin's got to get to 36, back to 33. We will then see if we hold those levels to get back in. That could have been the low. But if it's not, we are securing at 36. We're securing a good amount at that zone. And if we get to lower things, we will then see, as we remember, non-prediction strategy, guys. So I hope you all have a great day. Put your stop losses in, trade safe. I hope you're learning, guys, because trust me, the bull market is going to be a breeze and it's going to be awesome for all of us to do together. So guys, have a great day and I will see you all on the later show today. Bye for now.